So, hello everybody, and welcome to the next episode of Live Podcast. Today we have a very, very special guest from ESPN, Juanma Ibarra. Thank you so much for your time.
And it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure here talking to you. And as you know, I work for the UFC. I made some contributions to ESPN Mexico within a podcast of MMA. So we're good to talk sports and different topics of life with friends like you.
So let's go. So, welcome to the
Yeah,
show.
thank you.
Can you introduce yourself or tell us a bit about your background and how do you end up working in sports media?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as you said, my name is Juanma. I was born in Argentina. I'm a sports journalist and I work as a storyteller for the UFC, the Spanish side of things. We speak mostly about Latin American fight, cover on site, different events, different fights, the play by play of the events from here, from Argentina. But mostly, if you ask me how is, which is my main role in the UFC, is to be a storyteller. I tell stories about finance. I studied sport journalism. I have 3 degrees in communication, but my passion
Nice.
is sports and to tell stories about the, the fighters, the
Hmm.
sports people. So that's a job I like and I cherish. I'm a sports guy, so I can't complain about my job.
Yeah, it's a best drive if you love what can do. It's a best drive.
Absolutely.
So you often say the storytelling is my passion. What good storytelling in sport journalism mean to
Excuse me. You ask me. I have some problems with internet. You talk to me about the storytelling.
yeah. I will gonna say again. You often say that storytelling is my passion. What does good storytelling in sport journalism mean to you?
That's an interesting question. I think that behind every sport, I would say fighters because I work with fighters, but this work with all sports. There's a whole life, a lot of details you can tell that there's always a story of resilience, a story of struggle, of sacrifices. There's a lot, there's a lot of aspects behind the fighting style, behind what you see on camera that is truly important because it speaks volume of who's that person, who's that guy
Hmm.
behind that personality you see in the
Hmm.
camera. It's important that when a fighter is making the entry to the octagon, you know who's him or hers, the life behind them, they succeeded, the people behind them, how they prepare,
Hmm.
what is the approach, the mental approach to that game. Those are people who, at the peaks of their careers, they have a dream. They work hard for it and then made it, and they are over the spot.
Hmm.
Without those stories, you just have a guy throwing punches and doing takedowns, and it's okay because we love the game. The people who love the sport combats.
Yes.
But if you know the story, if you know that thing about that player,
Hmm.
how he or she overcame the different obstacles, you have a different package. And we believe that that's important because when you
Hmm.
turn on a sport, you watch a story, you watch a background. That makes you the outcome.
Yeah. What is your biggest story you ever work? Or what is the big story you ever work?
Well, Tony, the
Biggest story.
big story. There are several. There are a lot of things I've never shared because fighters have shared in confidence with
Yeah, yeah,
me
yeah.
about the growing, the difficult. On a personal way, the when sports, where
Hmm.
somebody from the sports open up to me and tell me something about the tough upbringing, or something complicated, I cherish a lot because they are putting their confidence in me. If you wanna know some story, for example, Kevin Vallejo,
Hmm.
the actual Argentinian star, he's fighting on featherweight division. His story as a guy of humble beginnings, working as a
Hmm. Mhm.
fighter aiming to fight for the title. That kind of story. I have thousands of it, but this one, a man who fought, who struggled very hard to make ends meet and to work, and with the rest of the energy after a journey of work, come to the gym to prepare a fight for the UFC. I mean, he wasn't preparing himself in the best gyms of the United States or
Nice.
focusing entirely in his career. He was working here in Argentina, not even in Buenos Aires. And then after that, he went to the gym and to prepare himself with 22
Mhm.
years to fight to contender series. So those stories, those kind of stories of struggling and sacrifices and the take no prisoners attitude because, okay, this is my situation. I fight anyways and I make it to the
Mhm.
top. That really gets me.
So my next question is, uh, as some about UFC and MMA, as someone who covers UFC for a Spanish speaking
Yeah,
audience,
yeah.
how do you approach telling the stories of fighters in a way that connection with both hardcore fans and new audience?
Well, there's a thing with Spanish speaking audiences because they know the humble beginnings of the. Well, as you know, in Latin American countries, sometimes we have to deal with economic turmoils, for financial crisis. So it's such complicated to get into the world stage because flying from Argentina to other countries, it's expensive, it's complicated, tell a kid tell their
Mhm.
parents that he wanna pair or to dedicate to some sport has to go to other countries. There's a lot of
Mhm.
money, and sometimes the family lacks that economic support to that kid. So it's kind of complicated for if you wanna go to the United States, it's like 12 hours by plane. If you wanna go to Europe, it's 16 hours by plane. It's maybe if you play football, it's a little bit different because
Mhm.
you can go to a club and then you are good. You ended up with a transfer to other club, and you get some money. But
Mhm.
different sports have to struggle a lot from the ground, man, and it's complicated. And
Mhm.
the Spanish speaking audience, they know how hard it is. They know that they we are building a culture of MMA in the Spanish markets. Everyone plays football here. We have our outcomes in football, and everybody plays.
Mhm.
But if you want to go to other sports like niche sports, sports that are growing, things are different, and we all share that thing of sacrifice and struggle and to believe in.
Mhm.
And for us, the storytellers, that aspect of the job is it's easier maybe for us because we all share the same culture. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true, true. So we have 10 minutes, and you have some juicy question. So the podcast is about hot topics without censorship. What are currently the hottest or most sensitive topics in the sport world that people are talking about behind the closed doors?
And
Yeah,
I think these days we are talking about food, right?
yeah,
The World Cup and all the outcomes. Argentina against Spain, two Spanish speaking countries,
yeah.
and all the hot rivalry against them. We went crazy about it in Argentina. We also made a lot of content about this in UFC Espanol because a lot of our fans also watch football and are
Mhm,
football fans. UFC, Santiago Ponzinibbio fought in UFC
mhm,
Abu Dhabi last Saturday. He entered to the octagon with the song Live is Life. It's a song related to Diego Maradona because Diego Maradona has made a famous warm up when playing in Napoli with
mhm,
that song and it's all related. And then the world went crazy for 1 month, you know. So
mhm.
I could say it's football
Yeah.
without hesitation.
Do you think Argentina was cheating in the World Cup?
No, no, that's a false narrative that began in 2022 with 5 penalties that's against in favor of
Mhm,
Argentina. That those were infractions. I mean, that's a false narrative. I don't know who ran it. If you see the match, You won't find it. And in this World Cup, of course, there were controversies, but there also were controversies in other matches, not just in Argentina's matches. I mean, I heard a lot of people in the media. The conversation is a media conversation. I mean, not a real person. Nobody can sustain something like that. Like they talk about, but Argentina didn't won the final, uh, score a goal that was sanctioned like legal. There was an infraction, a foul before. So there's always a lot of controversy
Mhm.
about. I don't buy the narrative. Like I also don't buy that Spain was fake. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just football. And if you don't see a robbery, then it's a
You
false
can
narrative.
you can say it is the football, but after that, Trump core and the red card was no longer. So like y- so
Ah,
like
okay, yeah, you're
so like you can say that it's just a football, but this happens.
yeah. Those things were complicated, but it didn't happen to Argentina. If you are talking, for example, in the World Cup of Chile '62, Brazil was going
Mhm.
to play the final against Czechoslovakia.
Yeah, we are not
62.
we are not in Czechoslovakia anymore.
Uh, I know, but at
yeah, yeah,
that time
yeah,
was at that
yeah,
time you were together, guys.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Pelé was injured, and Garrincha received a pardon to play the final. So I always remind my Brazilian friends that they are talking that Argentina cheat, that
Mhm.
they already had some pardon to come Garrincha on final.
Yeah.
When I'm telling to you, there's a lot of controversies and wrong decisions. For example, I saw Declan Rice, Finland covering his mouth
Mhm.
while talking to Messi, and he didn't get the red card. Also, the referees are human. And sometimes they make mistakes. I'm not complaining. I hate that.
Yeah.
I could talk to you and you talk to me, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
it.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
There's a Tony. There's also a new phenomenon that you have a lot of people that analyzes football through media, through Twitter.
Mhm.
There's the IA also
Mhm.
making things a little bit complicated. There's a rage campaign. For example,
Mhm.
a lot of people starting to say, I don't know why Argentina was a racist country. We don't even know that. I
Yeah,
don't know
true.
if it's a geopolitical problem or something like that. We never heard about that. And we heard a lot of people, foreigners saying, what? That has no base. I don't. There's a global phenomenon with the
Mhm.
social media that install a lot of false narratives, and you don't even
Mhm.
ask themselves without. There's a lot of people repeating things
True.
without basis.
True. True. True.
So let me see, but it's noise, man. It's noise you heard on internet. This ended up
Mhm. Yep. Yeah. So like.
absolutely. Didn't cheat. Didn't want it. Also,
Okay. Okay. So you have an exclusive role in the UFC. What's
yeah.
something about the organization most fan never see or understand?
You mean about the UFC?
Yeah. About the UFC, about this
Well,
whole.
that's the thing we sometimes are dealing with. We get waves of new fans with every also. You don't always have the hardcore fans from 10, 20 years ago. Every weekend, with every fighter, we see new people coming to the show, coming to attend because they feel attraction from the fans, from sports. And sometimes you get the sense that you know how to score a fight. But the thing is, there are rules: effective striking, effective grappling,
Mhm.
aggressiveness, control of the octagon. So sometimes what we do have to do is to say, first of all, we, the UFC, don't score the fights. There are commissions who score the fights.
Mhm.
It's impossible for us to fix or to rig a
Mhm.
fight because there are the commissions of the country of state. Understand? There are different
Mhm.
institutions. And what we have to do is to explain the rules for to all the new fans who attends the show and who becomes new fans to learn them how to read a fight
Mhm.
because it's different. Sometimes maybe I make a takedown, but I do know so it's not the same as I take down and do ground and pound, try to educate the people on how to read the fights and
Mhm.
to let them understand that we are not the judges. judges are beside them. But it's the same challenge. We were talking about football. That's almost the same thing. I mean, we cannot judge a football match of what you think it's full. There's a rule.
Yeah, yeah.
And according to that rule, you take the decision.
So last question,
Yeah,
I want to ask about White House card, the biggest card in the UFC story. So that what do you think about that referee in fight between Alex Pereira versus
yeah. Cyril Gun. I think there were a couple of hits in the backside of.
Mhm,
What I do also think is kind of complicated for the referee in that situation because those are it's difficult, man. Because I don't want to criticize the referee because it happens in just a couple of seconds.
yeah.
According to the rule, it was a couple of blows that were not legal, but it happens in just a fraction of a second,
Mhm,
man. So it's complicated for me to criticize him. I don't know how to say. For me, it was a legal pick.
mhm,
If it would be me, if you want my personal, for me that rule is sure. For
mhm,
me, the head is the head, and that's it.
mhm,
But even easier to score it.
mhm,
I am not the one who made the
yeah.
rules, and there were a couple of rules just in the back of the head. That was true. That was true in his claim. But I don't know if I would criticize the referee because oh no,
Mhm,
wait, you do time. It happens in a second.
yeah. Yeah. So, and one last real question. What do you like impressed most from White House card? Which is the moment who stand up? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. True.
From the 90s when a lot of people were against it to have a show on
Mm-hmm.
the background of the White House. Forget about the political thing because we are not into politics. I mean, that doesn't mean anything if it's Democrats. I mean, let's have it our show, the garden of the White House.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hell of an endorsement.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, and with this, we are going to end this interview. Yeah, you are mute. And with this, we are going to end this interview. Thank you so much, Juamana Ibarra, for your time. And guys, if you like this, please hit subscribe, like, comment, and share it. And so, thank you so much, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.